Welcome to Grumpy Old Soldiers, episode 181, everybody.
Get off my lawn.
I see Cheryl's here and Devin's here.
Cheryl, Devin, Eric.
And Eric, yep.
Oh,
man, that one dude's here. You were going to take his wrench from him, that Butter dude.
Oh, yeah, that Butter.
Yeah, Butter Cupcakes.
Butter Squad. Butter Cupcake.
Wow.
That's just wrong.
Hey, listen, Chuck, according to Vaping Bic, I'm Butter Cupcakes.
Oh, okay. Buttered Cupcakes.
More like jelly roll.
Mr. Diacetyl.
Yes.
Oh, that was only fitting, ain't it?
That's Lieutenant Diacetyl to you, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Damn, that's not good either. I'm trying to get my chat window so I can read it easier.
Find people in chat. See, yes, Chuck has fucked with my name once again, calling me Mr. Sex Machine.
Hey, don't blame Chuck for your shit, dude.
No, but that's just like you call a bald guy curly.
Yeah, or Flacco.
Hey, listen, there's not to sound racist. There's some Mexicans that actually have that nickname, Flacco.
Yeah, but you always got a tall guy people call tiny.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah. No,
my brother's 6'4".
You know, Jim, I never understood that. Why the fuck would you call a tall ass motherfucker tiny?
Because it's funny.
Called ironic, being ironic, and yeah, it's funny.
My brother, he goes by that. That's his nickname. He looks like Mark, but serious.
Me Stubby. That's the exact opposite.
As Devin says, Dylan, quit playing with your tits. Shut your mouth.
Thank you, Cheryl. Somebody had to explain it to the little kid.
Flacco equals skinny. Oh, okay. Instead of gordo.
Yes, Flacco.
Gordo, which I know is fat.
Yep. Oh, man.
So, gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Tired. Glad to be home.
In training, man. In training.
Yeah.
Got bills this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I am going to get my popcorn, damn it.
Didn't you do that just last month?
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, well, you know, they have some more riots popping off and shit, so.
Hey, Dave.
As my father says, you have
Dave.
to have a sense of humor to understand Dylan doesn't have one.
I have that problem, too, though. There are kinds of humor that just go right past me.
Right, but my dad has that old man fatherly dad jokes in him.
Mm-hmm.
No, but Dylan's problem isn't a sense of humor. He needs to say the words up here first and then say them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because some of the things you say, man,
It's kind of fucked up. It
but
leaves
if you just rephrase them, you can have some classic versions.
No, like I'll give you an example. My father always tries to hit me with dad jokes that he swears to God are fucking hilarious.
Mm.
I don't find funny at all.
Yeah.
Now, Jim, you have the classic dad jokes of the centuries. Your jokes are a lot funnier than some of the jokes that he says.
Oh. True.
That's rude. Well,
His dad filter's still thick, guys.
But the one joke that he keeps trying to hit me with is the who's on first.
who's on
Oh,
first?
yeah.
That always I know that leaves everyone pissed the fuck off, and I'm one of them.
Have you ever even heard the Who's on First skit?
Oh, you got to.
I think I've seen the skate.
Okay.
It is like one of the best skits ever, period.
I remember I see the classic skit on Facebook. Somebody was asking, oh, what's this plus this? And one guy kept saying the answer was 13.
Oh man, that reminds me. That reminds me of this video I was looking at just a little while ago. Let me show you guys. Hang on. Okay, let me share the screen.
Don't forget the sound.
Got the
So
sound.
so
Oh, here we go.
If you were born 8 years ago, how old would you be today?
1, 0? If I was born.
Yeah. You're right. What country is above North Korea?
Oh. What, us? I don't know.
The U.S.
Yeah.
You're right. That is correct.
Okay.
And then,
I don't know my geography. I'm sorry.
how long is a quarter of an hour?
A quarter, 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Yeah, a lot of the kids in this video are saying that 25 minutes, or
Yeah, well, that's what they. I mean, when you don't do analog,
Yeah.
yep,
Well, it's like the difference, there was the older people from our generation that was older that would call it of or past.
yeah,
if I was to look at Dylan and I said, "What's the first thing that pops in your head when I say quarter?"
25. Oh,
I know. I would think if we're talking
Well, no, we're not talking. I say quarter. What do you say?
pounder,
All right. I think one square I'm looking at on the screen.
yeah,
I automatically go to length or weight or a unit of measurement
yeah.
whenever I hear a fraction.
right?
And you think of food.
Pretty much.
That's what makes you such
Well,
a
I'm not going to
diacetyl
make that
genius.
observation, but I'm just trying to make a point that this generation or that generation doesn't think that way anymore.
Yeah.
There's so much more that they've been introduced to. There's
As
so
my
much side stimuli. Quarter pounder. Never thought about that when I was a kid.
Right. As my father said, now if you change who's on first or who farted first, Dylan would find it funny.
That's something that stays with men, though. All men would find that funny somewhat.
Exactly, one way or another. No matter the age, men always find farting and burping hilarious.
I don't know why.
Where did you get all this knowledge on men?
Because it's
I
proven
sent him a book.
facts. It's proven facts.
Yeah,
Even if you fucking look at videos online, there's a lot of fucking men that laugh at farting. Prove me wrong.
yeah.
I'd rather study how women react to it.
Michelle just said women do too. At least she does.
Yep. That's true. It's basic. Sometimes the most serious and most benign things are just funny, especially in the right context or in the wrong context. Anyway,
And if it's not you being embarrassed.
yeah. So, what are you vaping on tonight, Jim?
I have only got, because I just got home, just my Blaze and my Gua, and I've got my GT5 and my Therion from my brother.
Yeah.
JT.
Oh, hey, man, what's going on? Oh, we got the pulse happening again. Still finishing off that pineapple. Interesting combination. And got the pretty. Yeah. With the Voltrove in it. Still with the mixed berries. Oh, what a combination. And we got the bulk on top of the Gower. It's handling the iced, what is it? Grape Nomenon.
Phenomena.
I knew he was going to do that.
They got the Aries stew with Bonnie and Clyde in it on top of the Ursa Quest. And intake MTL on top of the Lima.
Mm.
Oh, Extreme Ice is beautiful. And last but not least, the Caliburn
Good
G2.
Caddy
Kelly
Burn.
Burner.
And what are you vaping on there, Dylan?
Vicious Vidar with the Alexa 6 in it. That has Brett's grapefruit, lemon, orange juice in that. And my billet box, if I can ever find that. And that has Stevie Marquez's watermelon lemonade in that. Now I'm gonna pass over to our illustrious potentate, Mr. Raw Chuck, who does a fabulous Robert De Niro facial expression.
Without
They
the
fell
lip.
for his bullshit. I got the Kulu
The cooler.
God bless you.
Gesundheit.
and the bulk on top of the Nova and Stubby 21 with the Ponte RBA in it. That's pretty much it. I've got to make some more e-liquid from my bulk because, well, I've been avoiding it because of nicotine. I ran out of nicotine in here and I got to go outside to get it.
Damn it, Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh, shit. I forgot that I had a thing for that. I forgot I made a bumper for it. Oh, man.
Dang it.
Dang it. To take a little open
Oh, my gosh.
Fucking Dylan fucked everything up for Chuck.
No, you didn't. No. No, that was my own fault because I just suddenly switched over to it. So let me see what I got here. Oh, another scandal in youth trans medicine. They had a study that was finally published. They had done it a while ago about the effects of puberty blockers, which is the medicine they use for chemical castration.
Yep.
And now they finally released the study. Let me make sure I'm not muted here. Okay. Let's take a look at that.
Subscription, definitely go and subscribe if you're interested in these kinds of topics. Long-awaited puberty blockers study is out in preprint, finding no change in kids' mental health. Ben reports, the New York Times reported in October that the lead author, Dr. Joanna Olson Kennedy, had held off from publishing the study, which did not see mental health improvements for political reasons. So the short version is that they studied a bunch of kids with gender dysphoria or gender confusion who were given puberty blockers and found no mental health improvement. So the argument for them has always been that you have to give kids these treatments because otherwise terrible things might happen and they massively improve their mental health. Turns out, at least according to this data set, that they conveniently and suspiciously tried to avoid releasing until now, even though they've had it for some time. That's not true. Ben's reporting continues. A much anticipated study on the use of puberty blockers among a group of nearly 100 minors with gender dysphoria has finally emerged in preprint form. The study found that, contrary to what Dutch researchers who founded the field of pediatric gender medicine in the 1990s and 2000s found in their seminal 2011 paper, children's mental health markers did not improve along the drugs. Instead, the children had fairly good mental health overall that simply remained constant during the year or two they spent on blockers. The study, as it notes, involves the largest longitudinal cohort of youth with gender dysphoria, initiating medical interventions with puberty blockers in early puberty to be followed in the United States. Now, the author of this study, Dr. Joanna Olson Kennedy, is a radical ideologue who is distorting the science to push an agenda here, not actually just trying to figure out what the best way to treat kids is. And I know this because she actually has tried to spin these null findings, these results that directly contradict her hypothesis that these medications would improve kids' mental health by saying, well, they might have gotten worse if they didn't have the puberty blockers. Seriously, that's the spin she's putting on these results, which is just not a standard of evidence we would ever accept in any other form of medicine. And also, these studies are never done with a control group, so we actually don't know that they would have gotten worse or not. It's just a desperate stretch.
So that's what we got.
Any one of us sitting here now could have told you that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
And people have been saying that all along. It's just that the people who want to believe there's an improvement will say there is.
But I noticed they only were talking about improvement. What about decline?
Yeah, they said overall they stayed pretty even.
Well, I'd like to see the data.
Yeah.
What are they calling pretty even?
Yeah, that's a good point.
overall, for the most part, on average.
Let me see. There's also, it's in the same video, these New York protesters blocking the, I think it was New York, maybe it's LA, blocking the streets and the problem it's causing, and they're being really callous about the people that they're blocking off. Let me get that here.
A black woman begged them to because she needed to get I agree with your opinion or not. You absolutely have a right to peacefully protest and speak your
Peacefully.
mind. You don't have a right to block traffic and to trap people and harm them. But that is exactly what some of these woke white libs in New York City did, even refusing to move when a black woman begged them to because she needed to get to work to take care of her children.
Yep.
This is some shocking stuff that really does show that these riots have gone too far. Take a listen.
But I have a kid. If I don't, and these people are having their children taken and their parents. What about my kids? I need to get a job. Look at this. That's what happens to my kids. I can't help you. But you can if you could just move out the way. You're not going to. How is this a peaceful protest if there's nothing to do? No, it's not.
How do y'all as white people feel about stopping a black woman from going to work?
Oh no, not work. I care so much.
So you don't care about stopping black people from going to work?
Look at this line.
Yeah, we don't care about work. What's that?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's 4-letter word.
They're professional protesters.
No problems. I'm not trying to. We're just trying to leave.
Woke white liberals have officially gone too far. I'm sorry, but the audacity to mock this black woman who's trying to get to work to take care of her family. Oh no, not work. Yeah.
Yeah. It's annoying.
They're forgetting that they're not riots in the past. The Watts riots, the Rodney King riots, even the Summer of Love. They were thinking there was justice of some sort in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right, be it misplaced. There's no justice to be found in this argument. You're illegal. You have no right. You have no claim. You have nothing here.
Yes, but that's following the law. But they've been indoctrinated with these people that call themselves lawyers. They want to push the extreme, but they're here. It's a civil, not a criminal offense that coming into the country.
So if I can get into your living room, sit down and turn the TV on before you catch me, I'm here.
Yeah. And they're also not just civil. Some of them are also saying, well, it's just a misdemeanor, like DUI.
No.
Yeah, DUI is a misdemeanor.
Yeah, well, jumping over the border is a federal offense.
Yeah.
You know, we need to put together, somebody needs to do the research, put together every country in this world and their immigration law.
Yeah.
Well, we rank.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? Mexico, it's against the law from people from other countries to protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mexicans don't protest that much anyway because there are all sorts of problems with that for them.
No, they're up here protesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if they protested down there, the cops will beat them, the cartel will beat them, their neighbors will beat them.
Yeah, Claudia Sheinbaum, the president of Mexico, told Mexicans that are in the U.S. to protest more.
Oh, yeah. They're sanctioned by a country.
Yep.
They're waving another country's flag. They're just desecrating mine.
Yes, and
They're
then on
telling me
top of
they're
that,
take it back.
yeah, the president of the Senate down there, he also was making claims that went all the way up to declaring war on the United States. He was going to be taking our territory.
I was watching CNN Live earlier, and I heard somebody in the background. This just makes me hate illegals even more. It was probably from that crowd being held up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I could never live in a city like that. I mean, hell, I couldn't even live in the Dallas area. We had to get out because traffic was just too much. And that's
Yeah.
when it's flowing. You know?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine living like that. I mean, I can drive in it, but not every day. I couldn't do it every day. Every time I had to go out. I mean, no.
Yeah, my wife, when we first started working in North Dallas, she had a 35 or 45 minute commute that could end up being over an hour. And on a standard transmission, that's a real bitch. She had to keep her foot on the clutch the whole damn time.
Yeah.
That's when we switched to automatics.
She kept her foot on the brake all the time.
It's easier though, for some reason, because the clutch takes a lot more effort, and you have.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, shit. Oh man.
Yeah, but admit it, even the standard transmission.
Yeah. Oh man.
But they may be making a comeback though, as a safety device.
Yeah, to keep your car from getting stolen.
I remember we had one of my sergeants had a semi-automatic Volkswagen Beetlebug. It had no clutch, but you still had to shift the gear.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I did that one time. My clutch went out on this Mitsubishi I owned. The clutch went out, but you can still shift gears. You just got to find the right time.
Got how to measure them in, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but this was designed this way. There was no clutch, but you had to shift 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Yeah. That was back when 3 gears.
Germans.
Do what?
Crazy ass Germans.
Yeah. That was back when 3 gears was enough. Oh man. Oh, strokes in young people is on the rise.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Believe it or not, it's entirely got to do with the health of young people. Young people are not as healthy as they used to be.
Oh, they're not.
Yep.
Well, they also had a little help along with the road there too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're actually coming out.
Sorry about that, GT.
Choked me up. And I forgot what I was saying. You know, it's like over in England, shit. I'll think of it there in a second. The guys that do the embalmers.
Okay.
They're finally talking about pulling out those clots in people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Youngsters too.
Somewhere I had saved that movie somewhere, that video.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little thing about the strokes that people are having here.
Yeah.
Joining us now is Dr. Pierre Corey, COVID vaccine injury specialist, metabolic cancer treatment expert, and the author of The War on Ivermectin. Doctor, good to see you again, as always. Can you confirm, so the New York Post headline, "We've never had patients so young," quoting doctors. Is that accurate?
Yes. I mean, the data, I dug into the data behind that article, and, I'll just be open and honest with you. I mean, my first thought when I saw that headline is, this is probably related to the COVID mRNA vaccine campaign. But to be honest, the data that I found doesn't really support a direct association with that, because strokes have been rising in this age bracket of 1844 consistently over the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's something that's a bit of a surprise. We really thought it had to do with the jab.
Yeah.
From year to year. There was maybe a slight uptick in 2021, but it wasn't like anything that you would find as remarkable. And so I think really the issue is, why do they keep rising? And we're seeing more and more young people have strokes than ever before. I mean, in 2015, there was a huge jump. And so, like, if you look at that article, they come up with a couple of silly things in that article. It was like they pondered whether it was energy drinks. Like, there's no evidence that every energy drinks would cause strokes, but okay. Adderall use. And they were just kind of throwing things at the wall, trying to figure out what was behind this. But In another study that I found, which is kind of interesting, they looked at what's called traditional risk factors and then non-traditional risk factors. And so they found that like traditional risk factors like obesity, high blood pressure, things like that. Non-traditional were things like autoimmune diseases, kidney diseases, inflammatory bowel or irritable bowel syndrome.
That's stuff like peanut allergy too. Things that are on the that exist now that didn't really exist 100 years ago.
They found that those non-traditional ones were highly associated with rises in stroke. And so here's my take on it, guys. I think that this is like just data that screams as to why Bobby is doing what he's doing, RFK Jr. I mean, he has been talking about this for a while. We're getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And what is driving that over these years? What is happening in our society, whether it's the medicines, the food, the water, the air, that's driving all this? And the CDC doesn't ask those questions. They just kind of like
tipped
put out the data
$6.90.
and then give some
This
associations.
is blah blah blah
and then they just kind of stop. But like, why are all these other diseases or risk factors increasing?
Yeah, if
Well,
only
they
we.
do mention.
Thanks for the tip, hippie. He's saying this is blah 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 blah. Yeah, I know.
If only we had an incredible doctor on our show to ask that question.
Right. And I'm shocked that the New York Post says, well, these, two people we're talking about that had strokes very young, both of them were on oral contraceptive. We have known for decades that the birth control pill increases the incidence of stroke. Do you think it's convenient now to scapegoat the pill when that has been a known risk factor? Well, scapegoat is the wrong word.
Well, there's another thing about the oral contraceptive pill is that it makes women prefer dad bods over muscular physique.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's true.
It's true, yeah.
Right.
It doesn't make sense to me because if you're going to, posit that, then show me data that oral contraceptive use has skyrocketed as well over that time, right? They don't provide the data. So it's not a really serious consideration, at least in that article. I don't want to be Johnny One Note here and always call attention to the vaccines. I think it's multifactorial. I think certainly it could be elements in our food, but the outrageous expansion of the schedule and the fact that that's associated with lots of chronic diseases like autoimmune diseases, allergies, IBS, and again, I don't want to always draw it to that, but there is this consistent march and increase in general chronic illness, and now we have some of these acute events. I mean, keep in mind, guys, right? Young people really should not get strokes. It should be quite rare. Now, 18 to 44 is a fairly broad age range. I would have loved to have seen 18 to 25 and seeing what the rates are there, because that should be distinctly rare. And
okay, this is just going to go on to say more of the same thing pretty much. So,
because I know two guys that had strokes, and the only thing they had in common was a heavy use of cocaine back in their younger days.
Yeah. My younger sister had a stroke in the last year and a half, and it's scary.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard for them to trace all this. On top of them pumping us full of crap in our food and then medicines that they've used for the last 50 years, they've increased premature babies.
Yeah.
And, I'm not one of those evil, heinous bastards, but there's something about raising sickly children into sickly adulthood.
Yeah.
And then having children.
But we also take our children, keep them indoors, sterilize them, and do whatever the government says. Give them this shot, give them that shot, do this, do that, teach them that. And we want to buy our kids to what they are. I mean, eat soy, don't eat meat. I don't care who you are, I'll argue all day long, your body needs meat and meat fat. Plain and simple.
Yep.
You need salt. You need certain things in your diet to make your brain function, your heart function, your liver, your kidneys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm hoping Kennedy finds solutions to all this shit.
The problem he's going to have is not everybody's going to agree with everything he says. I don't believe he's just going to go willy-nilly. Let's just do it because I say so.
Yeah.
But there's so much to be done all at once. People are going to resent it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And on top of that, all the left behinds.
Yeah.
That will play politics on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And a lot of like the food pyramid, what I don't know what it is now, is some kind of rhombus or trapezoid or something, but that was the food pyramid, and every adjustment to it since then was done by marketing, not research.
Exactly. But the food pyramid we grew up with was the same thing.
Yep.
It was designed by the producers, grain, dairy. We're telling you need 4 servings of this every day.
It was designed by the United States military. Yeah, they controlled on all that shit. Even school lunches, everything. That all goes back to the military. They designed it. They come up with the idea on how to do it. And the rest is history.
Had kids at 17, 18 years old could join up, pass boot camp, and go fight a war for 2-3 years. And we got kids now at 18 that can't walk across the street to Starbucks without being winded.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, shit's getting bad. And there's a school shooting in Austria.
Yeah.
That ain't good.
Yeah, I got a little something about that here. See, share screen, do that, and let's unmute the tab. There we go.
In the middle of class, multiple gunshots ringing out, piercing the calm at this high school in Graz, Austria's second largest city. Police responding within minutes, special forces on the scene evacuating terrified students. At least 10 people were killed and 11 injured when a 21-year-old former student who never graduated opened fire around 10 a.m. He operated alone, police say, using 2 weapons he owned legally. After the shooting spree, he took his own life in the school's bathroom.
Das war schlimm.
Ada, a student at the school, said it was so unexpected. We had so many injuries, even our teacher died. This afternoon, people lining up to donate blood.
The only
Which
way,
we never hear about them donating blood here when there's a school shooting.
Yeah.
possible to help. The only thing we can do to help.
Yeah.
Tonight, some mothers lucky enough to be taking their children home.
Also, das war ganz schlimm.
I'm thinking about how bad it is for other parents, this mother Eva says. I get scared all the time. Her son is safe tonight, but he called me while the whole thing was happening, she says. Tonight in Graz, thousands coming together. A nation stunned. The horror of this kind of shooting, so rare.
And Molly joins us now live. Molly, we're learning more about the weapons the shooter had access to.
Tom, that's right. And authorities say the suspect was unknown to them. So a big part of the investigation will now focus on the weapons that he used, how he got them. Police say he used a handgun and a long gun. Tom?
Okay, Molly Hunter first. Molly, thank you.
Yeah. Handgun and a long gun.
But you're always going to have some nut go off like that.
Yeah. I mean, he was didn't graduate. He's 21 now. He just went off the deep end. I'm going to kill myself. How can I leave with a bang and my name in the paper?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that seems to be the in thing to do now, shoot up a school.
Mm-hmm.
All that and that idiot that shot that guy that was the insurance president.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Luigi.
But I can see that kind of crazy. I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying it was cool. I'm just saying I could see me going, oh man, that fucking insurance company screwed me over. Bang. You know, I see that reasoning.
Yeah.
My wife's in bed with another guy. Bang. I see that. It's wrong. You're going to go to jail, but
Yeah, I always see the old Michael Douglas movie, Falling Down.
Mm-hmm. That was an awesome movie.
Yeah,
That's the whole
something like
thing.
that is what I would see. You know, I can understand it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying go out and do it, but I understand why you would want to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like hitting the old lady. I know why you want to. I really do. Just don't do it. You know.
Whoa.
Happy Hippie tipped $3.33.
Wow.
Kamala LALA Ding Dong.
Anyone else think
Come on.
turning loose Spanish fighting
Come on,
bulls
ding
at these
dong.
riots would be a great idea?
Yeah. What did that say? Kamala Lala Ding Dong. Thanks for the tip, Happy. Oh, man. And Kash Patel's going to look into who's funding riots or protesting.
So sick of hearing we're going to look into it.
Yeah.
We're going to
They already showed their faces.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, see, that's another thing, too. Hakeem Jeffries said he bitches about ICE agents not showing their faces, but then he also says that he's going to dox all of them.
Yeah, they have been doxing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, wait a minute. Somebody's giving these guys armor and contraband, right?
Yeah.
So start arresting everybody that has this contraband.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that grounds to arrest them?
Yeah.
It's like being caught with burglary tool. You
Yeah.
may not be doing anything, but you've got the tool to do it.
That's true. Well, here's what Kash Patel was saying.
Who is funding the LA riots? FBI Director Kash Patel is getting to the bottom of it. Ladies and gentlemen,
we'll see.
FBI Director Kash Patel said the Bureau is investigating the source of funding that is fueling the riots in Los Angeles, California. Trucks full of bionic face shields are showing up to distribute to rioters on the streets of Los Angeles. They're handing them out like candy. Thousands of dollars worth show up in each truckload. Watch.
Interesting to see that Christina Gonzalez was saying that this is not an organized rally like we saw earlier in the day where you have the different organizations that are backing some of these protests. This is more, she said, organic, and maybe that's what you're seeing there. I'm hoping that is...
What are those boxes?
Are those masks of some sort? Are those gas
I'm trying to
masks?
see that doesn't look like food.
Yeah,
and
those
water.
are...
Who is
like
funding
masks.
the LA
Yeah, no,
riots?
those are masks. Yeah, so people are prepping for some sort of altercation with police as we speak.
And here's what those face shields are. $6.99 at Walmart.
Yeah, because, this is a different scene than what
It's intersection, like I
Yeah. I mean, we saw
at this intersection, like I said, there's no
scene.
local police. We've been seeing the burnouts.
A very different scene. And are those hats that you wear that are more like helmets? I mean, this is
Yeah, they don't understand what they're seeing. They're not. They're zoomed in from too far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were talking about that. They can protect from a lot of things. They can't help you breathe better from gas, but they can protect your face from the liquid.
Yep.
And,
Wow, they probably got a deal in there telling them they're going to have to pee on it to activate their kafaya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Hey, it worked. I mean, that's ingenuity, really. You make fun of them.
Yeah. U.S. and China are set for trade talks in London.
Yeah, they pretty much got the deal ready for Xi and Trump to get together and have their little signing.
Yeah.
It looks like a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
We get hit with a 10% tariff and they got to pay 55%.
I don't know. Well, there's also the fact that what he's trying to do is trying to get our products into China. They've been blocking all imports of our stuff, and that's what's going on. People don't hear about that.
Yeah, but you also got to look at it this way too. He's trying to reset the way banking is done.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got a little problem over here called the Federal Reserve.
Oh, yeah.
And that son of a bitch needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
They'll sit there and give everybody else around the world raising their credit ratings and sit there and hit us with a downgrade and still leave the interest rate flat. Yeah, they're trying to collapse the economy.
Oh, fuck. I hope not. I hope they don't make it.
Oh, don't be a panicking.
Yeah. Yeah. And we had some bad news in Texas. The THC ban that Lieutenant Governor, what's his name? I live in Texas.
Cuccinelli.
Yeah. He finally got it passed.
1 to 2012 with multiple combat deployments. I serve today, as Mitch said, as the Texas VFW.
Let me explain. These are guys in the VFW. They are veterans who served and were using THC to make their lives livable.
Vice Commander, representing over 64,000 veterans in Texas. And I'm here today with one simple message. Governor Abbott, please veto Senate Bill 3. Let me tell you why. Like so many of my fellow veterans, I didn't come home whole. I live with chronic pain, I live with PTSD, and I live with the memories that will never leave. I live with the scars you can see and the ones you can't. And like thousands of us, I went through the government's solution, a never-ending parade of pills, Vicodin, Valium, Tramadol, Neurontin, antidepressants, sleeping pills. The list goes on and on. Those drugs nearly destroyed me. My wife once went to the store, came home with a friend, only to find me 2 blocks from my house, standing on the sidewalk, holding my cane at the low ready like a rifle, completely lost in a fog due to prescription drugs. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. All this was at a time where I could barely walk. Now the good news, I was moving so slow, I didn't make it that far. I was only 2 blocks from the house. But let's be honest, that's not funny. That's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That was the moment I realized the so-called solution the government gave me was killing me slowly. This right here, legal hemp-derived consumable THC gummies, brought me back. One man, a Coast Guard veteran, started a company that saved my life and the life of thousands of other veterans in Texas and across the country. I'm not going to call him out by name, but he's here today and he knows who he is. These gummies are clearly labeled, right there on the back.
And regulated.
Safe, regulated, and effective.
Yep.
Since 2018, I haven't touched a single opioid or any of the other drugs that I mentioned above. I've rebuilt my life. I've become a better leader, a better husband, a better father, and ultimately a better man.
Yep. That's Dan Patrick, fucking asshole. And the veterans have been fighting it for years, ever since 2019. And that's when
I hate to take light away from the veterans. You know me.
Yeah.
But you're also excluding sports professionals, retired. You're also excluding Parkinson, Bell's palsy. All of these people have been known to benefit.
Yep.
There's a lot of groups affected there. And for what? For something that's no worse than a bottle of beer?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But somebody's grandchild got into some gummies and got fucked up.
But whose kid ain't got into a beer or a bottle of liquor?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we've let the Karens take over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were successful in fighting Dan Patrick on this until Dan Patrick blocked everybody, all the opposition out, and had a vote then. They kept it legal for 5 years, and now it's going into effect. Now our compassionate, we have like 10 conditions that are allowed to be treated with medical THC, and PTSD is not one of them.
Of course not.
And a few years ago, the only one that was epilepsy, an extreme form of epilepsy. One condition. Danica Patrick, yeah, I like her too.
As long as she doesn't open her mouth.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll amend that later.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, man, did you guys see out there, where was it, L.A.? They're taking the electric bikes and piling them up.
Oh, yeah.
And letting them catch on fire or setting them off.
Yep. And the self-driving
batteries
cars.
go up. Yeah. But they were doing this at the federal buildings, blocking the exits.
Yep. Setting them on fire probably because of the batteries in them, hoping they'll blow up. Yep. And what is his fucking name? Harvey Weinstein. His they had to redo his trial because they kind of overdid it. And where did I put it? Shit. Oh, there it is. They kind of overdid it. And so in appeals, they said they kicked it out. They said, no, you fucked it up. You prejudiced the jury, and we can't have that. You're going to have another trial and fix that shit. So they did, and they found that he's still the scariest and creepiest guy ever in Hollywood. So
definitely the creepiest.
Yeah.
Reaction to the partial verdict in the Harvey Weinstein sex assault retrial. A quick recap. There was a unanimous guilty verdict of sexual assault against one woman, and then there was a not guilty verdict of assaulting another more than a decade ago. Let's listen in. Looks like we have... Okay. For some more context, it looks like we have one of the accusers alongside Gloria Allred, it appears to be. So let's listen in right now.
Two witnesses. Me Too witnesses are witnesses to uncharged crimes or prior bad acts. But we see that although there were no such witnesses in this case because it was not permitted, still the jury convicted. That had to mean that they believed Mimi's testimony beyond a reasonable doubt, and so much evidence that she presented from this incident years ago. So that's awesome. We're very grateful.
Yeah.
Do you want to say something else?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
You can hear.
You know, it was interesting that the first time I was very, very worried about how I would feel seeing him in court, and this time I was worried again. I just didn't know what to expect in terms of what would come up. The first time it was something is happening. The view of Mr. Weinstein was obscured by the judge's kind of booth, whereas this time he was constantly in my view. But ultimately, you know, when I was finally in there, I really didn't feel anything. I felt very little, to be honest. Yeah.
You know, a lot of times when stuff like this comes out, and they're like, they went and these women suddenly appeared talking about having these sexual contacts and stuff. It's like they didn't suddenly appear. The ones that reported it initially and tried to get prosecution for it. And they had
but I have a tendency to raise an eyebrow when Gloria Allred's the attorney.
Yeah, Gloria Allred, yeah. Hey, Nick.
Oh, Nick.
Let's see if I remember this bumper. You got a joke for us, Jim?
I might have. Let's see. This old guy wanders into the talent agency, looks at the guy behind the desk. He says, Sonny, he says, I got a talent you ain't never seen. He says, I can fart the Star-Spangled Banner perfectly. The guy says, well, I find that hard to believe. He says, you're going to have to prove it. Well, the old man says, all right, Sonny, I'll prove it. He goes over into the corner of the room, drops his trousers, and takes a big dump in the corner. And the talent agent's screaming, what the fuck are you doing? He says, even Sinatra's got to clear his throat.
Shit. Oh, man.
Can we have a few minutes of Dylan speaking?
Yes, let's do that. Go ahead, Dylan.
What are we talking
Words of
about?
wisdom from Dylan.
The future of our country.
All I have to say is two things. One, Chuck, get the fuck off my lawn. And two, don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah. Oh, man. I got to...
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say there's no hope. We just will call it good.
Yeah. Let's watch a little more of this video about the people answering the questions all wrong. That's pretty funny.
Demo funny.
Yeah. Yeah, he's catching them at an odd time when their brains are on autopilot.
No, there's no excuse for that.
Some of it there's not.
That's just dumb.
Yeah.
How many weeks are in a year?
Weeks in a year. Dang it.
If you were born 7 years ago, how old would you be today?
If I was born 7 years ago,
no
I would
idea.
be.
Hang on.
Gosh, math is not my subject. I'm a sport management major.
Nope. Wrong screen.
How long is a quarter of an hour?
Damn it, Dylan.
Yeah, fucking Dylan.
25 minutes?
25 minutes? What'd you do to get 25 minutes? Like, what'd you add or subtract? Or
Oh,
divide?
no, it was just like into fours.
Oh,
That's how I
okay.
see the clock.
Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, okay. I
You
get
see what I
what yeah. No. It's 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah. Can you name me 3 countries other than America?
Africa?
Okay. That's one. Give me 2 more. Give me 2 more.
Nah, hell nah, bro. You sick.
That's the question
Even
again.
bro's flabbergasted.
Let's start over. Let's start over.
Continent. You talking like what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, let's start over. Let's start over.
These niggas finna make a TikTok on your ass.
Alright.
Oh,
3
God.
countries other than America.
I don't know. I'm thinking.
Okay.
I only been in America.
Oh, okay. So since you've been in America, you wouldn't know other countries?
Yeah, no. I don't be caring about that.
How long is a quarter of an hour?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
You got me on that one.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, man. Some of them aren't even trying. Actually, most of them aren't trying, it seems like.
It's a lot of math. I don't know.
I'm not good at math. I don't know that one.
15 minutes.
What is 3 cubed?
9.
No.
Okay. What is 3 times 3 times 3?
9.
9. Okay.
27.
Am I getting him right?
No.
How many weeks are in a year? That should be easy. That's easy.
What, is it like 28, 27?
20.
What?
It's 52.
There you go. Okay,
How am
there
I
you go.
supposed to know? Okay.
Because we live through every year.
I don't be counting the weeks, though.
There's 4 in every month.
I thought it was 3. My bad.
I'll tell you what, when you start getting paid on Friday, you'll be counting the weeks.
That still wouldn't add up.
All right, bro.
All right. Okay. How many dimes are in a dollar?
50.
50 dimes in a dollar.
Sure.
Okay. How do you get that? Like.
I just guessed.
Oh, okay. Great guess, by the way.
That was what?
Great guess.
Was it right?
No, it's 10. It's 10. How long is a quarter of an hour?
25 minutes.
25 minutes. How'd you get that?
Because like an hour, 60 minutes
Yeah.
divided
By
by 4.
How long is a quarter of an hour?
25 minutes?
How long is a quarter of an hour?
1/4?
Hmm?
1/4?
What? Yeah.
25 minutes?
No. 25 minutes.
Yeah.
What is 3 cubed?
I know cubed is 3, so isn't it like, is it 1 or is it 3?
Is it 1 or 3?
I think it's 1. I'm gonna say 1.
The answer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what math did you do to like get the answer? What is 3 cubed?
Oh, don't get this one wrong, because I saw this TikTok that they did and it was bad. 26.
There you go.
Is it really?
No, it's 27. How many dimes are in $1?
Dimes 10 cents. So 100.
What is 3 cubed?
21.
21. Okay, what is 3 times 3 times 3?
21.
Okay, I was just making sure. What is 9 plus 9 plus 9?
21.
Okay, I just had to make sure 3 for 3. Absolutely crazy, but thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
What is 3 cubed?
3 cubed of like what? Like 0 or like 1?
No,
like
no,
1
like
to the third power.
3 cubed is like 3 to the third power.
Okay.
Yeah.
9.
9, there you go. What is 3 times 3 times 3?
9.
How long is a quarter of an hour?
Quarter of an hour. 20 minutes.
20 minutes, there you go. So if I say I'm gonna meet you a 5:15, what time would that be?
Like 5:20.
What is 3 cubed?
3 cubed is 9.
How long is a quarter of an hour?
25 minutes.
Okay. So if I say I'll meet you a 9:15, what time would that be?
A quarter past 9. 9:25.
9:20. Okay, that makes sense. What continent is Saudi Arabia in?
It is a country. Continent.
Oh, Saudi Arabia is a continent?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's a country though.
It is a country. What continent is it?
Yeah.
Australia.
What is 7 times 6?
7 times 6 is
42.
Wait, 7
Times
30. Stop. Wait. 41.
41, there you go. No, it's 42.
Oh my gosh.
Do you desire?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I thought I was the biggest
Oh,
dumbass.
Dylan, don't.
Some of these women,
I was
man,
the biggest fucking dumbass.
some of these women just were almost coming on to him too. Damn. Oh,
I think it
man.
was the camera.
Yeah, probably because he's an influencer or whatever. Oh man, Destiny? No, that wasn't Destiny.
My father asked, asking the wrong questions. How many dime backs can you get for 100?
It should be 10, but you know you got to count the tip and all that shit. Oh man. So I guess that's the show for tonight. Let me unlock the room, and there's a link. There's a link in
Wait a
chat.
minute, Hippie didn't answer that joke.
Huh?
Hippie didn't tell me the end of that joke.
Oh. Uh-oh. Hippie.
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 Nick says, my tits are about a handful.
Yeah.
Maybe we can hear it after in Zoom.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. All
Yeah.
right.
Y'all have a good night. Thanks for coming out.
God
We'll
bless.
see you next
Good
week.
for America.
Don't be a dick.
Keep your head on a swivel and stay classy, people.
Grace for peace. I fix it. We can talk all we want. Now.
Okay. You let that one.